In this tutorial video, we'll be having a look at functionalism. Now, functionalism developed in the United States of America as a reaction to structuralism. Functionalists focused on the functions of the mind, rather than the content or the structures of the mind. They believed functions should be the subject matter of psychology. They focused on how the mind allowed the individual to adapt to its environment. For example, functions did not focus on the structure of emotions, but the role the emotions play in social adaptation. Now, our first contribution comes from William James, an American physician, philosopher, and psychologist. He wrote 2 books, The Principles of Psychology and the Varieties of the Religious Experience. William James strongly believed that the individual adaptation, to the environment is influenced by the person's conscious awareness of the continuity of the past, present, and the future, which is the basis of experiencing time. The major contribution to functionalism came from Charles Darwin, when he published his book, The Origins of Species. Psychology started to show interest in how organisms adapt to their environments. Implicit in the evolutionary theory is the position that living organisms gradually change. This change is a result of new species, new forms of species, and the survival of species. Attributes that influence adaptation and have been shown to be common in both animals and human beings are will, reason, instinct, sensations, emotions, imagination, curiosity, and the ability to imitate. The main difference between animals and humans is merely the fact that human beings' behavior is governed more by will and reason, and animals more by instinct. This led to experiments on animals as a method to explain human behavior. Charles Darwin's theory also focused on the individual differences of human beings. For example, fitness, physical activity, exercise, and how they all reduces the mortality rate. Another major contribution came from Francis Galton. Through his work, individual differences became a major concept in psychology. He was an Englishman who contributed greatly to the methodology of psychology by compiling and applying ability tests, questionnaires, and statistical techniques. Galton's idea influenced scientific research on the heredity of components and the physical basis of intelligence, as well as measuring individual differences in general ability. Functionalism, although not recognized as a school of thought today, has an everlasting effect on the focus of pragmatism in industrial and organizational psychology. The application of tests, questionnaires, and statistic techniques is of great importance to the industrial and organizational psychology. Our fourth contribution is that of Walter Dill Scott, another student of Wundt. He made great contributions to the personal psychology in the selection of salespeople, executives, and military personnel. Personal selection is one of the specialized fields in industrial and organizational psychology. The basic premise is that individuals differ with regard to intelligence, aptitude, skill, interest, and other characteristics. Selection aims at identifying personal characteristics in an applicant, predict whether he or she will become a competent and satisfied worker in an occupation that require his or her attributes. Our final contribution to functionalism is that of Hugo Munsenburg, a German psychologist and another student of Wunsch. He illustrated the difference between natural sciences and applied sciences as it applies to the selection of workers. His famous experiment, the operation of a trolley car, Munsenburg conducted an experiment to simulate the operation of a trolley car to ascertain what contributed to the operator's safe conduct of the job. The conclusion was that it required the ability to simultaneously comprehend all operations of the trolley car. Munsenburg became a consultant in various areas, including forensic issues and psychological therapy.